Go to TAPgiles.com to learn dreams, engage my services, and support the channel. While I'm here though, there's a couple of other ways to do this trigger zone. So, first thing to know about is performance-wise, this is looking for the shape of that character, and you can see the thing it can detect is like flashing green, and it's the whole shape of this. So if this sphere zone touches like a tiny bit of the head or maybe a hand or something like that, it will trigger this destroyer and everything. But that's it, a little bit harder for it to figure out. So if you have a lot of these zones looking for shapes, so this is probably fine, but if you had like a couple hundred in your collectathon level, then it might start slowing down on the PS4, for example. So doing this a slightly different way will make that more performant, less hard on performance, and so let you have more of these zones and not worry about that. So there's a couple of methods. One is to use a tag. So instead of looking for the shape of the player, it will look for a tag gadget. So let's have a tag gadget, and we'll call that player. So now this is called player, and then we put that same name in here. So now that zone is looking for that gadget, and you can see it kind of glowing like that, pulsing. So what position will that actually care about? It's actually in this chip, so it's looking for a tag that's there instead of in the player. So let's just move that over here. So now when this point of the player is in this zone, it will send the signal. So let's play test that. Dink. So it still works, but it's a lot easier for the processing wise to figure out if that point is in the zone instead of the shape being in the zone. Another trick you can do is use a tag in here. So if we just open this, we've got this tag output, and over here we have this detected output. I'm just going to make it not destroy anything so that we can test this part. So when the tag is in that zone, the trigger zones detected down here is sending a signal, but also the tag knows it's detected and sends a signal out of here. So what we could do is swap these around, put that in there, have that in there, and it's still sending the same signals. So now we only have one zone and lots of tags instead of one tag and lots of zones in all our collectibles, which can be a little bit better for performance again. So maybe those are pretty interchangeable. It's up to you which way around you want to do it. And let's just, I'm going to do it this way. So let's just put that on the grid, grab the gizmo, and then our triangle to put it on the grid. So that's in there, and we'll call it coin, like that. And then this is looking for coins. And you can actually, instead of typing it in, you can use up and down the D-pad on here, looking for different tag names. There we go. And now it's found it. And make sure the zone is somewhere useful. Like there. And we can make it a bit smaller if you want to. And then that should send out a signal from here and then power the destroyer just as it did before from the trigger zone. So now, boop, and it still disappears. And all of these will work the same way because they emitted that same logic. So now they've all updated to the more efficient way of doing things. They're the same Thermo, but they're lower on performance cost, because it's not looking for shapes, it's looking for a point. So that's shape, that's a point, that's a point, that's a point, That's a shape. That's a shape. That's a shape. That's a shape. And that's a shape. So these three are points. And you can have you can fill your Thermo with trigger zones and you still won't have any problems with them working. But with shapes, it's only like a few hundred or something, and then it stops working. So yeah, that's why. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Go to patreon.com/TAPgiles to learn something new every day.